You're watching a classic episode of Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World Television.
This is the Missouri buck that I shot last fall with an old 45-90. You might remember seeing that show. Well, this is what it took to get that buck.
You know, I'm real fortunate to get to hunt a lot of different places and a lot of parts of the country, and with just landowners sometimes, with outfitters sometimes. But there's just something special about coming back to your home ground, you know, the ground that you hunt all the time, and you just feel comfortable. You know, you can hunt the way you want to. You can hang the stands where you want to. You can check the food plots. You know, check the sign out, the rubs, the scrape lines, that sort of thing. And just there's just something pretty special about that. Well, I've been hunting a little farm up by Truman Lake for several years, and I just love a little place. You know, it's got a lot of squirrels, and so I did a lot of scouting up here and squirrel hunting, and been putting up some stands for the last few years, you know, here and there, and scouting the area out. I started using cameras 2 or 3 years ago, and well, they've been a big help as for scouting.
14 inches. That's kind of good because it's only been here for 2 days.
We've got a little hunting camp on the farm, and pretty neat place. You know, we have a lot of fun up here. Some of the guides come up. We fool around a lot up here and do a little bit of hunting. It's not fancy by any means. You know, we've got a little outhouse. We don't have running water. We haul our water in, and it's kind of like a big wall tent with wood sides. You know, it's no insulation, and I've got some bunk beds in there with throw our sleeping bags out. It's very comfortable, especially when the weather gets bad. We can crank up a little wood fire and kind of keep it toasty inside. And it's more like just an old hunting camp, you know, the kind I like. And we got a lot of CRP ground. We plant some food plots. Plant some turnip and rape and so forth for late season. We've got some corn patches, some clover patches. But it's just a neat place. I love to come up here and spend time hunting. And there's places in Missouri that have a lot bigger deer than we have here in central Missouri, I guess you'd say. But I just like the place, and I like to come up here and see if I can kill one of these old mature bucks. So that's what I'm trying to do. I came up just a few days ago and hunted one day and crawled up in the stand, and one of the stands that I just put up, and we seen some does out of it. Wasn't in it very long. The weather kind of blew us out and started raining. So I was anxious to get back up here. I got up last night, crawled up in the stand, and just about the time we run out of camera light, we seen a few deer. We seen 3 does in one bunch, another deer we couldn't tell what it was.
Just about last light, I seen a coyote crossing the hillside. I started squeaking and called him right in. You know, we always try to thin the coyotes down. It never seems like we can kill enough of them. So we shoot one every chance we get. It was really interesting watching him come in, taking his time, and walking down that log. I'm Jerry Martin, and this is how my archery season went last fall.
Last week when I was up here, I found this place that a lot of deer crossing this dry creek, and I was pretty excited about it. So this should be a good area. There's a few feet in here. I just see a new scrape right there under that limb. Took a stand in there and hung it, and I also put a camera up. And I didn't want to go in there last night when we got there. I was afraid there might be deer right there in the area. There's a food plot pretty close by, and I was afraid I'd bump the deer out of there, so I just stayed out of there. And this morning, after we hunted, about 10 o'clock or 10:30, we crawled down out of the tree, and I couldn't wait to get up there to see what was on that camera.
Got a stand right across the creek over there, and they've been filtering down through there and crossing the creek right there under the stand. And coming right into this turnip field here. It's got turnips and rape. They've been hitting it pretty good.
I tell you, when you go to the camera and you pop the top off and it says 25 images, you can't wait to get back and see what's passed through there. We had a little bit of activity through there. Not just deer. We had 2 or 3 coyotes and coon, and there was 3 big bucks went through there, and 2 of them were very mature bucks. There's the bull we're looking for. Good 10 point. Probably about a 140. Yeah, 135, 140. That's a 8 point. That's a 9 point. I think that's an old time deer right there. He's got some pretty good mass. 9 point. He may be missing the brow. You need to take him out. So I'm looking forward to being able to get in that stand. So I think it's going to get better and better. The wind's hadn't been cooperating at all. I've stayed out of the stand because the wind is just wrong. We've had a southeast wind, which is a little bit unusual, and just not going to be able to hunt it with that southeast wind. I need southwest or west or northwest or north. If the wind will just cooperate a little bit and turn on us, 90 degrees from where it's at now, I'll be in that stand because I think it's a real hot spot. But I don't know if it's going to change or not. So we're supposed to have some rain come in on us.
Well, sure enough, the rain came. We woke up to a north wind at about 15, 20 miles an hour and pouring down rain.
Good morning to sleep on, huh?
Oh, yeah. Pouring down the rain, the wind blowing about 20, 25 mile an hour out of the north. Yeah, great morning. Sweet man.
So we just decided to stay in that morning. And the rain never quit. It rained hard all day. The next morning we woke up with a good wind, and I couldn't wait to get in my stand at the creek crossing. Guess what? The creek was full of water.
Well, this is my dry creek bed. After it rained all morning, came down to hunt the stand. I thought it would be good. The wind was really good. First real chance I was going to get the spin. Came down the creek, was running about 2 feet deep. I stand across the creek, couldn't get to it. And then the deer was coming down the creek anyhow, so it just goes to show you. Sometimes it just don't work out.
Well, after all of this, I continue to fine-tune my scouting and try to find these bucks. And a week later, when the gun season opened, I managed to take a real nice mature buck. You know, a lot of times the TV shows make it look like we climb up in a tree and kill a deer the first day, but that's not usually the case. Most of the time we spend several days hunting.
How about that guy?
It's just like this show here. You know, we spent 2 weeks filming before we could get a deer kill.
Solid 8 point. It's got a couple little nubs there, but pretty wide. Big old deer, big body, old deer. That's the kind that we want. Try to harvest.